welcome to our World Breastfeeding Month celebration. I'd like to introduce Dietitian Temitope Fawehnimi. She's a registered dietitian from Nigeria, and Dietitian Tope has been working with the Lagos State Health Service Commission for the past 8 years. But more to it, she's an advocate for healthy living and also...
Hello everyone, my name is Dietitian Fawehnimi, as rightly said, and welcome to tonight's session.
We have some questions here already, but Dietitian Tope also prepared a slide for us. So after today's session, we should share our slides with the community members. And if you're willing to join us, please put in the chat. We'll send you the link or the registration form to join. Quite all right. To start with, Dietitian Tope, can you just tell us briefly what you think breastfeeding mothers, or generally women, our community members, is not just women. We have men, we have grandmas, we have young adults, both male and female, looking forward to starting a family, and they want to know why breastfeeding, why exclusive breastfeeding, why is it so important that we're celebrating in the month of August?
Okay.
Actually, breast milk is really important because the breastfeeding rate worldwide has increased a little bit globally. We have 48% from the year 2024 report, but we can do better as a people. I mean, across all population, across various geographical zones, breastfeeding is standard. When I mean standard, I mean it is not something that, it's not applicable to this population or it's not applicable to this population.
Breastfeeding is the act of nurturing our young ones, okay, with our mammary gland. Animals do it, so it's just a natural thing. If lower animals can do it, I don't even want to call them lower animals, but if other mammals can do it, why shouldn't we do it? Okay? Breast milk, the golden liquid, the priceless liquid. Why wouldn't you want to give your precious child the most invaluable liquid on earth, which we call breast milk? So that should be the first question. If there are no external occurrences, if you can, why wouldn't you want to breastfeed your child? Okay? If you can. And now, sometimes you can, but you don't know how. And which is one of the reasons why we have this celebrating. And that's why a whole month has been dedicated to, World Breastfeeding Awareness Month, World Breastfeeding Awareness Week. Okay? So for those who want to, but do not know how to, that's one of the reasons why we're having this kind of platform. So yes, thank you so much. There's so many benefits associated with breastfeeding. But for me, a major one is bonding. This is something that, facilitates bonding between you and the new life that you've brought to earth. So why don't you want to bond naturally with your child? You're breastfeeding, you're looking at your baby is looking at you. Why don't you want to do that? It is the richest, purest form of love that you can give to your child. Okay? The first breast milk that comes out of a woman's breast is called colostrum. Okay, which we call the yellowish breast milk that comes out before it now begins to get clear. Okay? We don't even know, we cannot even quantify the number of, nutrients that are in this colostrum in breast milk. Okay, so we just know that the from PUFAs to so many micronutrients to hormones to DHAs, so many micronutrients, so many nutrients are embedded in this breast milk. So why won't you want to breastfeed your child? Okay, some breast milk enhance optimum brain development for your child. breast milk boost your child's immunity. Realistic, as she said, I work in the clinical setting, and it would be unfair to say that there are people that want to breastfeed but cannot breastfeed. Okay? For some people, the breast milk will not just come. For some people, we have things like inverted nipple. For some people, they just don't know how to breastfeed. For some people, latching is a problem. Okay? For some people, they just don't want their breast to sag. Aesthetics. But trust me, either you breastfeed or not, the breast will sag because it's a natural aging process. So let's try to identify these problems one by one.
Okay.
Breastfeeding is something you prepare for, and you should prepare for it from conception. From the day you realize that you are carrying a child, from the day you know that you are pregnant, that is the day that you start preparing for breastfeeding. How do you do that? You start ensuring that you're well hydrated. Staying well hydrated, especially in terms of fluid, when we say fluid now, don't misquote me. I've told someone fluid and then she went into artificial juice as her fluid. Okay? We're talking water. We're talking fluids that can enhance your breast milk flow. In this part of the world, we rely on pap so much. Pap, oats, sorghum, barley, Greek yogurt. Okay, so these are things, but essentially water to show that you are well hydrated. Okay, so water is a major factor. Okay, so and when you're well hydrated, there's a 90% chance. Yes, I can use the word 90% confidently that at least within the first 1 to 3 hours of birthing your child, you would have breast milk breast milk. Okay? Then the mothers need.
Hello.
Sorry?
Okay. I just wanted to say that when you said if you drink enough water, you're well hydrated, there's a 90% chance that the mother will be able to breastfeed. Are there other considerations for the new mom to look out for, especially eating for the mom? Are there nutrients that are really important for the mother to eat, to consider in their meals before they're thinking of, okay, I am hydrated, but am I well nourished enough even as a mom to breastfeed?
Yeah. Yes, that's the next. The mother's nutrient stores is very important. And why I'm emphasizing that before baby comes, is when we even start preparing our body for breast milk. Your nutrient stores in terms of eating the right amount of food within the first trimester, okay, just fine. Second trimester, you might want to add another maybe 150 to 250 kilocal, and then by maybe third trimester, you want to add another extra 100 or 200 kilocalories, okay, to your total diet. Eating as much as between 2,000 to 2,500 kilocalories per day, okay? And then ensuring that this, you are eating a variety of your macronutrients, from your carbohydrate to your proteins to your fat and oil, even your micronutrients, your fruits, your vegetables. You ensure that you are eating, now not eating for two, but you are eating twice as healthy. We don't want you to sit down with a big bowl of food. You can eat your food, small portions at frequent intervals, but ensuring that you tick out, you get all the required calories that you need for the day, as opposed to just downing everything, and then you and most times we're not able to move as much as we would love to. Now, in which in turn will now make, such individuals obese, because your energy, the amount of energy you are getting is definitely not the amount of energy that is expended. So we need to be mindful of that. And that's why I said you eat twice as healthy. If you weren't eating your fruits and vegetables before, okay, you should do that. Of course, pre-conception, conception, and post-conception, which is during the breastfeeding period that we are talking about.
Breastfeeding mother, you need an additional 500 calories to add to your food. That means you keep on taking your prenatal even after giving birth. I know a lot of mothers don't feel comfortable with taking their prenatals. In Nigeria, where you go to antenatal classes, they're telling you, are you taking your folic acid? Are you taking your irons? But we have prenatal supplements that your gynecologist, your primary physician should have prescribed for you. Keep taking that, because it also helps with your additional food intake while breastfeeding as well. Also, the number of wet and dirty diapers of your newborn can show if you're actually breastfeeding the baby enough. Your newborn should have at least 8 breastfeeding time points of feeding, of nursing from the mom. And the research has shown that the first day of life of a newborn, at least you have one wet diaper, one dirty diaper. That means one dirty diaper means there is defecation of the newborn, elimination of waste. But wet diaper means, the baby is peeing and things like that. So as soon as the baby is progressing, the dirty diaper, which shows the poo of the baby should increase. And so it also links evidence to breastfeeding a baby and how well nourished the baby should be. So that really is important to put into consideration for a new mother to breastfeed her baby. So thank you for always ensuring that your baby's health is important, but also know that what you eat can actually impact your baby. A lot of people will think that breast milk is constant. Yes, but research has shown that how well nourished the mother is will show in the baby. So eat well. I think our dietitian will also continue on knowing that what is the required time to nurse a baby, or how do you ensure that a baby is full? What are the signs you also see that while breastfeeding, a baby is full, and how can the husband come in to support the mom?
So you're breastfeeding, okay? So of course, latching has been properly established, head by the arm, baby's buttock on your palm, bringing your baby to breast, okay, feeding your baby, ensuring that your back is to the chair and your legs elevated. Now, when you ensure that these positions are in place, okay, regardless of the breastfeeding positions that you choose, okay, it is important to, you look at your child, you watch out for cooing signs, okay? Sometimes when your child is full, they might choose to remove their mouth by themselves, okay? They might even choose to burp out loud, okay? Just slips off, okay? But you would always know when they are not satisfied, because even when you remove their mouth from the breast, most times they become irritable. They start crying, and then you know that, we are not done. But most importantly, the amount of time you spend on one breast, okay, minimum should be between 30 to 45 minutes, okay, because initially you give your milk. And then the longer you stay on one breast, and then you now have the end milk, okay? So you ensure that when you're breastfeeding your child, as much as possible, you try to ensure that literally you empty a breast, okay? Not that you just do 10 minutes here and another 10 minutes here. No, you ensure that you empty one breast as much as possible before going into, imagine yourself eating non-stop for 30-45 minutes to 1 hour. Trust me, you would be full.
Thank you, dietitian, for that. And question by Abiye program said, thank you, Ms. Fawehnimi. What is the best way to get our husbands to key into exclusive breastfeeding without feeling neglected or ignored? I believe this community member is thinking about how to get her husband involved in exclusive breastfeeding, and the husband.
Thank you. If there's anything I've had so much in the last 6 or even 8 months right now, is inclusion and diversity. Okay, so even when we're talking about breastfeeding, inclusivity is very, very important, and it doesn't just start when you want to breastfeed. Okay, it takes two to tango, it takes two to make a baby. And so we want to expect that the husbands, the partners, your birth partners has been following you for antenatals, okay, if possible, delivery, and then now postnatal, which is breastfeeding. Now, breast milk can be expressed, okay, in breast milk pouches. When you see breast milk pouches, they have dates, they have time, okay, and then that you, when you collect them, you can label them properly and then refrigerate them or freeze them. That's the word, freeze them. Now, this can be a little bit tricky because we don't want our babies to come down with diarrhea or some so whatever it is that can compromise their immune system. Okay, but that's one of the ways that the mother can actually include everyone. So ensuring that this breast milk is expressed, well frozen, well stored. Okay, but expressing the milk, allowing because when a child is born, a mother is also born too. So allowing the mother to rest or sleep or just take a break while your partner or your birth partner or your husband or your support system actually cater for the child in terms of feeding. So that's one major way that you can support a new mom.
So I would like to also add to it that even when you freeze the breast milk, ensure that you are not just thawing the breast milk in such a rapid way. We know we have some breast milk warmer that are good, but you don't boil the breast milk in the pouches and things like that.
The nature's breast milk.
And also microplastic. I'd like to add to this with you. With your experience and with ensuring that the father of the house or the mom is also considering the husband, I would say that the husbands that are thinking exclusive breastfeeding will take more of the wife's time should also look at the economic benefit for the family. If your wife is well supported, you're not going to be paying for formula, which we don't even recommend. We know there are some mothers that have some health conditions. Maybe they have some mom have HIV and they have to be on antiretroviral drugs and things like that, and maybe they can breastfeed, although there are some recommendations that consultants can help. But looking at being a mom myself, and our dietitian said she has 3 kids, breastfeeding is the best, and not just best, scientifically proven food, natural food for your child. So if you're a man here or you're a dad already, please encourage your wives. Encourage your sisters, encourage your friends. Oh, do you need support? Is there a way I can help you get breastfeeding pillows? She just shared information about the appropriate positioning during breastfeeding. I know because of our time, she was trying to talk more on, the appropriate latching and things like that. The different way a mother can actually position the baby during nursing to ensure proper latching and the woman is not tired while breastfeeding. So I think the men also needs to come to our conversations, talk about it. Let's look at the cost benefits for breastfeeding.
So one of the facilities I work in is a maternal and child center, And it will surprise you that this year there's a significant increase in the number of breastfeeding mothers. Okay? Maybe not exclusively, but there's a significant increase in the amount of mothers who are now breastfeeding. Okay? For me, the prices of formulas these days are on the very, very, very high side. So I think they should keep increasing the price of formulas so that we can keep having moms who actually will breastfeed their babies. Okay, so trust me, I don't know why anyone would not want to breastfeed their child.
Also, dietitian, thank you. I think we should also talk about how public places and also some institutions or places are not also helping mothers to see that this is a noble job and provide nursing rooms, provide, even if it is not a dedicated space, give privacy to moms that need to breastfeed.
Why do mothers need privacy to breastfeed their child?
When I mean privacy, it's not a social stigma because breastfeeding is natural.
Why should breastfeeding be a social stigma? So let's talk about it. Why should we stigmatize breastfeeding mothers? They're just feeding their child. They're nurturing their child. So why should any form of stigmatization be attached to breastfeeding? We as women should be able to feed our children anywhere, anytime, as long as it is ideal or comfortable or convenient for our offspring. If we can eat, if you as an adult can get your takeaway of food and sit down in one corner and eat your food, why shouldn't a growing child crying for food be able to eat? Because somebody is going to see and then they'll tell the mother, cover it up. You move your eyes somewhere else and let the young one feed. So please, I am pro breastfeeding everywhere, anywhere, as long as we're able to nurture this new life on earth.
About frozen breast milk, are there concerns that the nutrient content of the breast milk changes? And also, what are the things that could affect the composition of breast milk?
So breast milk on one hand, and then on the other hand, now let's use vegetable. Mm-hmm. If you cook your vegetable fresh, half cooked, and then when you put anything in the freezer, what does it do? It binds the nutrients, it holds it together until you bring it out to eat. And so breast milk should not be an exception. And that's why I kept emphasizing freezer. Okay? Freezer. You put it there and then all the nutrients are intact. Freezer. Blocked. Frozen. But the moment you bring it out, it's a different ball game. It begins to thaw. Now, how you dispose it is of importance. So you know that you have a child that you want to breastfeed by 12 o'clock. You don't bring out your breast milk by 12. Preferably, you can bring it out minimum 2 hours before then, or even longer than that. And then it thaws by itself on its own. Okay? But we would not advise that you feed your child your breast milk and then you pour it somewhere and then you put it in a hot bath and then you denature all the proteins in it. You denature things like the vitamin C in it, which is very, very, of course, water-soluble vitamins. Okay? No. And that is where a lot of people get it wrong. So it is of importance to know that you bring out, this frozen milk ahead of time and not when your child wants to take this breast milk.
Thank you so much. That really resonated with even my own experience as a mom. I was schooling and breastfeeding I did it. I did the exclusive breastfeeding, but also we are humans. There were days where whenever I bring out the milk from the pouch and I have seen that, oh, she's hungry, she's crying, I tend to still wait. Although instead of using the frozen milk because it wasn't ready, I had to also breastfeed, not directly. And so we should also look at how best to meet up the demands of our babies and prepare ahead. If it's for you to have already thawed the breast milk and already have it in a little warmer so that it's readily available while the baby is demanding for the food. And this brings us to our next question. How do you advise a mom that is complaining about low breast milk supply? And also, what are the things to do to help the mom actually be assured that she can produce enough milk for her child?
So being realistic and from the field, for some reason, some people just do not produce
enough
breast milk. No matter what you do, no matter how much they try, no matter the diet, okay, just the way some people just could not push. Okay, just the way. That's how I like to liken it. Just the way some people cannot just push the baby out, their body just could not do it. Not because of anything. Sometimes there's not even an explanation for these things. Okay, and so we also have to acknowledge that there are people that just cannot. Now, apart from those set of people, we spoke about staying hydrated. We spoke about the diet. We talked about support. Okay? And when it comes to support, you have to be mindful. There are some supports in quotes that strengthens you, and there are some supports that are actually detrimental to your health. Okay? In this part of the world where we say, oh, people come to support you, you just give birth, you're feeding your baby, you're feeding your husband, you're feeding your in-laws, hello, that is not support, which in turn stresses the mother. The newborn is probably not sleeping well at night, but if your child is well fed, I want to strongly believe that your newborn should be sleeping throughout the night. Okay?
Newborn or maybe after.
It's common that your newborn might not sleep throughout the night.
Yeah.
Okay? It's common that your newborn might not, and so which makes you sleep deprived. Now, prolactin helps you to make milk. Oxytocin helps you to release breast milk. Now, and if you are stressed as a mother, emotional stress, sleep deprived, whatever form of stress, the body begins to produce more of the stress hormone cortisol. And cortisol is an inhibitor to oxytocin, which things you might be able to produce, but it's not coming out. Okay? And why is it not coming out? Because you're stressed. When you're producing more stress hormone that is now serving as an inhibitor to what is supposed to allow the breast milk, to come out. So apart from eating well, okay, staying well hydrated, you have to avoid stressors. And that is, you have to avoid stressors and avoid whatever it is that has the ability to stress you, which in turn can actually deprive you from producing enough milk. You have to ensure that you get enough sleep. Okay, you have to ensure that as much as you've had a baby, because when a baby is born, a mother is also born. Do the things that you still like. Find time to do the things that you still like. For me, breastfeeding time is a movie series for me. So I'm breastfeeding, I'm watching a series. So the baby is enjoying he or herself, me too. I'm also enjoying myself. Okay, so just ensure that you do things that stimulate your happy hormone, and trust me, your breast milk would definitely come out as much as it should.
Okay. We are almost getting to the end of this talk, but we want us to conclude without also looking at those other factors that we need to consider for our mothers. When I mean those other factors, difficulties even during breastfeeding itself, mastitis, you mentioned inverted nipple, but sometimes even cracked nipples, and other things can happen. Is there a way you can talk about that to let mothers know that, just like, when psychologists will say, yes, we are not saying if you do all of this, you'll be stable, but look out for this and overcome this obstacle. So how best can you help our mothers to know that, you eat well, you stay hydrated, but these are things that can be challenges. How can we address that, ma'am?
I had a new mom in my consulting room, and I think she had the baby on Saturday, and it was a Monday, and she said the baby has not eaten since Saturday. Why? He said the baby is not collecting it. What do you mean the baby is not collecting it? Okay, follow me to my office, because it was during the child welfare clinic. So follow me to my office. Let me see how you're breastfeeding your baby. Despite the fact that she was a new mom with her mother, who is a grandmother, and had 6 children.
Other grandchildren.
Okay? And so this is her grandchild. And they said the baby wasn't collected. So I said, okay, feed the baby, let me see. And right there and then, we realized that the latching process was wrong. Okay? And that's why I took my time to explain what the ideal latching process should be. The baby's head by your elbow, the butt in your palm, and then you bring baby to breast. And now research says that when you hold the nipple, you hold it in cup-like, okay? And then you ensure that the entire areola of the breast enters the baby's mouth. And just by properly latching this child, voila, the child started sucking for the very first time ever, right there and then, just like that. So latching is a major problem. And now she actually had no idea about ideal latching. Now sometimes we can latch but not latch well, and then the nipples begin to crack so bad that sometimes mothers even bleed, and they wouldn't want to breastfeed the child. So it's issues might be mastitis. Okay, I'm sure the doctors are 100% capable of handling that. Do not always take things into your hands as mothers. In short, some people just say, oh, is it not just breastfeeding? There are people we call lactation consultants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? In this, we just say food. I don't know, a lot of people take food for granted. Food is very, very important. And it starts from breast milk all the way to your EPA. They are all food that we consume at different stages or phases of our lives. Okay? So don't just trivialize it. Why do I need a lactation consultant? If you have difficulties in breastfeeding, ensure that you come and consult us. Okay? Ensure that you consult us. Even sometimes with lactation cookies that people take, some work, some do not work. Ensure that you consult a lactation consultant.
Bringing us closer to the end of the session is like, are there food to limit? And also, what are the recommended food that you can tell our lactating mothers or our new moms or women aspiring to be moms soon, that these are food that can help you during lactation, and these are foods to limit or even avoid while breastfeeding?
Okay. Let's start with the things to avoid. This is a very controversial one. Some people say, I'm a pregnant mom, I need caffeine, I can take coffee. Okay, all well and done. Some people say, is it not just small alcohol? Is it not just small? Some people even tell you, I don't take alcohol, but I take palm wine. I don't take alcohol, but I take palm wine.
Interesting.
Sorry, shock, breaking news. Palm wine is still alcohol. They take shinap. It is still, I'm very sure we know that one is standard. That is alcohol. People say, I need to take small stout. Enekin, mortuary standard, very cold one. It will help me with now. Alcohol for any reason is a no. Okay? Because it's definitely hinders optimum brain development of your child. And the level of alcohol in your bloodstream, you should know that the level of alcohol in your bloodstream is directly proportional to the level of alcohol in your breast milk. And then the moment the alcohol in your bloodstream begins to drop, the exact same things happen to the alcohol in your breast milk. So the question is, why do you want to give your newborn alcohol? What do you want to achieve from it? Okay? Why do you want to give your newborn caffeine? What exactly do you want to stimulate? Okay? So I always throw it back to the mothers. But apart from that, breastfeeding mothers that are smoking, whatever it is that you are smoking, that's another department on its own. What do you want to achieve? Because as you're smoking, your newborn is also a passive smoker. You might be the active smoker, your newborn is the passive smoker. What exactly do you want to achieve from it? Okay, it's just a 24-month period. It's just a 24-month contract. After 24 months, okay, you breastfeed your child exclusively. Of course, you breastfeed up to 2 years of age. Continued breastfeeding, okay? Now, you should know that exclusive breastfeeding is not for 1 year. It's just strictly for 6 months. And then after 6 months, you do continued breastfeeding with the introduction of complementary food, okay? I'm sure solely breast milk, no water, no herbal concoctions, no honey, no nothing. In short, honey should not be given to a child that is less than 2 years old. Yes. Okay, so 6 months exclusive breastfeeding, just breast milk, and it is the mother that is just supposed to eat. So what is the mother supposed to eat? Now, the mother is supposed to eat, we mentioned it already. You don't have to go and look for cauliflower rice. You don't have to eat purple eba. Eat your whole grains, eat your proteins, your potatoes, either sweet or Irish, your rice, your oats, your tubers, eat your fruits and vegetables. Eat. You know when you eat that, when you see your plate, there's what we call my plate, okay? Half of it, okay? Somewhere you have your vegetables, your fruits, your carbs, your protein, and then, of course, the water is always out of the plate, meaning that you should take, as a breastfeeding mother, you should take minimum 3.5 liters of water per day. Okay, so ensure that you eat a variety of food. In short, eating a variety of food helps you to train your child's taste bud in the later life, and it shows that they become, as they age, they become less of picky eaters. So do well to eat, but as much as we're telling you to eat, please do not eat for two. Yes, we know the baby, you don't have the baby, you are literally feeding, but we just want you to eat very, very healthy. And healthy does not mean you're going to eat some foreign food. Eat your locally available food in its richest and most natural form.
Much, ma'am. I also wanted to allow that wealth of expertise show, especially with your consultation experience this past week and the other information about women of breastfeeding mothers taking harmful substances, because I see alcohol, smoking, even caffeine to a minimal extent should not even be a consideration for mothers, both pregnant and breastfeeding mothers. Lifestyle factors of alcohol and smoking, even for a typical woman or man, it's harmful. And they have increased risks to cardiometabolic issues, the stroke, even hypertension, raised blood pressure. For humans, there are risk factors, not to talk about our breastfeeding mothers, our pregnant mothers, because you're not just putting yourself at risk, you're putting the newborn at risk of even different conditions that you can't even think about, mutations and things like that, even in breastfeeding pregnant mothers. So like our dietitian have rightly said, avoid it. I will not just say limit, avoid it.
Yes, so avoid it,
And we have a question, how realistic is this 24 months of breastfeeding? You know, you mentioned exclusive is 6 months.
I am a living example. I pride myself as a breastfeeding mother. Now, is it feasible? Is it easy?
For all your kids?
Is it easy? Yeah, exclusive. Is it easy? No. I would not even, there's some days I go absolutely not, because one thing that it does to your children is that they are so attached to you. It's feasible, but there are some challenges attached to it, if I must be sincere. Okay? You also, as a breastfeeding mom for this long, there are issues, there are health challenges that you begin to face in terms of your calcium stores. They begin to deplete, and they deplete very fast. And so you might witness some joint pains, some back pains, some knee pains. Okay, so your iron stores. Okay, as much as the child is eating other food, but do not forget you are breastfeeding. Okay, so you might, some nutrients in your body might be diminishing. And so one thing that you should do is, aside eating well, which we've talked about lengthily, you should also supplement, so that you're not just you are breastfeeding successfully in the right way. You are giving the right thing. As much as you are helping yourself, you do not want that help to be detrimental to your own health. So yes, it is very, 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 very possible. It is very possible. It is very, very achievable. It's just a mindset. You need to be open-minded about it. You need to be receptive about it. And if you've made up your mind that you can do it, trust me, you can do it.
It's good to also see collaboration amongst nutrition professionals, dietitians, especially for us to also see that this is achievable even among the populace, among our family, among our friends. We have people that are thinking that, oh, this thing is just far-fetched, and you're breaking it down into achievable actions and how we can provide support to our mothers, or with the case of our question on how can the husband not feel ignored and neglected. I love the way you brought nuances to see the benefits for both the man of the house and the mother and the baby. Thank you so much, Dietitian Temitope Fawehnimi. And also we want to say thank you everyone. Till next Saturday, same time, same station. Please subscribe to our channel.